China's economic influence in Africa has been a hot topic for years. However, it's making headlines again. This time, China has announced a zero-tariff policy for 33 of Africa's least developed countries, LDCs. China has granted zero-tariff treatment for 100% tariff lines to all least developed countries in Africa with diplomatic relations with China, making it the first major developing country to implement such an initiative as the world's second largest economy opens up its vast market and shares growth opportunities. This declaration at the Forum of China-Africa Cooperation (FOSAC) Summit promises duty-free access for African goods into Chinese market and was being hailed as a significant step towards boosting African economies. The zero-tariff policy took effect this month, fulfilling a pledge made by Chinese President Xi Jinping at the FOSAC Summit in September. He said China will voluntarily and unilaterally open its market wider. We have decided to give all LDCs with diplomatic relations with China, including 33 African countries, zero tariff in treatment for 100% tariff lines. China's engagement with Africa has been a mix of investment, strategic partnerships and aid since the early 2000s. China has Africa's largest trading partner, with trade volumes reaching unprecedented levels. The zero-tariff policy is an extension of a 2003 scheme that allowed 190 tariff-free products from resource-rich African countries. However, the bulk of these exports have been unprocessed commodities like crude oil and minerals. In 2022 alone, trade between Africa and China was valued at a whopping $282 billion. China has been involved in many projects in Africa, from building railways in Kenya to financing massive infrastructure projects like Ghana's Sino Hydro bauxite deal. China has pledged approximately $49.8 billion in financial support to Africa over the next 3 years and will expand market access for African agricultural products, deepen cooperation with Africa in e-commerce and other areas, and launch a China-Africa Quality Enhancement Program. We are prepared to enter into framework agreement on economic partnership for shared development with African countries to provide long-term stable and predictable institutional guarantee for trade and investment between the two sides. Critics claim that while the zero-tariff policy sounds promising, it may not significantly impact African economies. Why? Because the major exports to China, oil and minerals, are already tariff-free. The real challenge lies in diversifying exports and building manufacturing capacities in Africa. Without this, African countries might remain stuck in the cycle of exporting raw materials and exporting finished goods. While this sounds like a win-win, the reality is more complex. The imbalances in trade remain stuck, with African LDCs needing more manufacturing and processing capacity to truly benefit from these policies. Africa needs to leverage this opportunity to build its manufacturing sector and reduce its dependency on raw material exports. Is this zero-tariff policy a genuine effort to uplift African economies, or is it another strategic move by China to secure its supply of raw materials? Stay tuned as we continue to follow this story and bring you latest updates. This is the News God. Share your thoughts with us in the comment section and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more updates on global issues.